a matter of time. Masochists I tend to pretend to befriend you when no one else is watching. If only you could see through these mirrors that surround you. My fertile garden of lies, growing to placate you
Hello, everybody. I'm Hoardergamer, and this is Hoarder's Comic Flex. I hope you've had a delightful week. This is going to be a slightly different format, not massively different. I mentioned before that sometimes on an episode, there's only going to be like one comic book review. Like, it could even be a weird anomaly that there could be 3 comics reviewed. That's a possibility, you know? It doesn't happen often, but it could. Anyway, there's only one book that's going to be reviewed today, and we're going to end the show with a review of Flash #1 by Deodato and Spurrier. Well, Spurrier and Deodato if you're going writer-artist. So we'll be ending with that. So we're actually going to start with some video gaming news, which is rather different for this show, but that's how we're going to begin it. And I hope you enjoy this episode. Okay, so first up, the First Descendant beta. I joked about that it was like Destiny Frame, and it really kind of is. It's got elements of both Destiny and Warframe, but I know a number of people were happy that this was the third-person view, that they aren't big on first-person shooters. So they actually like this more than they do something like Destiny. So I thought that was interesting. It's on Unreal 5, so it's beautiful. It looks really good. I played it on Series X and PS5, and it looks great on both. Audio mixing is weird. Like, it will just, like, shake your skull. You have to turn it to headphones. Otherwise, if you're wearing, like, headphones to play the game, it's going to be, like, booming, loud, and insane. So you definitely actually want to change the setting to headphones. And even on the Series X in the living room, I had to go to headphones mode as well. It just really accentuates the sound of, like, the guns and everything. And, like, the recoil and all that. Super loud. Like, it sounds almost like Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross producing new music. That's how loud and raucous it sounds. In case you don't know, that's technically 9 Inch Nails right now. Okay. Anyway, it was also massive. This beta is the largest beta I have played, as in length, as in gameplay. So I played it for at least 15 hours, and I still did not see everything that this beta had to offer. Apparently there were still quite a few more missions, because instead of just unlocking like 2 or 3 characters like I was working on, other people had like 4 or 5 unlocked by the end of when they played the beta. So there's a lot to do in this beta. Let's see here. My 2 favorite characters that I got to play are Bunny and Viessa. Bunny is a speedster and very much in the way of like Tracer from Overwatch. I think she's really cool, an adorable character. And then Viessa is the like ice character, almost like Killer Frost, except not a villain. And you have like ice daggers that you can use. Going back to Bunny, one of my favorite abilities she has is an intermittent electric pulse. And basically you can have it where it goes further out from where Bunny is and constantly electrocutes, like in a rhythm, of the enemies that are coming towards you. So it makes it really good if you're doing something like wave-based where enemies are running at you. That's really cool. And there's numerous modes like that. So the story is just sort of there in the First Descendant. It's science fiction. It's not like very original or anything, but there are concepts and ideas that are cool. Like, are we working for the bad guys, or is the person that's in our head talking to us the bad guy? There's some questionable things going on there. You know, it's like, I almost want to say like unreliable narrator, but it's a little bit different when it's like a virtual voice in your head, just only known as guide. Okay. It's also got some of the best and most enjoyable moment-to-moment gameplay. That's a huge focus of the game, is like it's super fun to play it. Like there have been times where I was like, oh, I look forward to playing some more of it, and I can't now because the beta's over. But yeah, just moment to moment, The shooting feels really good. Traversal feels good to a point. There's a grappling hook, and it doesn't have quite the right length. It doesn't seem to be as easy to use as something like the grapple in like any of the Arkham Batman games. It can be frustrating because you'll end up falling to your death, but in most cases, that doesn't mean that you failed out of what you're doing. So that's good. I think they understood that it would be a tricky thing to learn. Also, you're going to very easily overestimate the length of the grapple and think you can get to somewhere. You'll be in mid-jump and you'll be like, oopsie, I didn't quite make that. That's totally going to happen to you. That's totally going to happen to you. Now, the game will possibly launch in November or December. We don't know exactly when. There's some kind of crazy people that are claiming late October. I sincerely doubt it. What I played was really good and an excellent indicator of where they're headed with this. But I really doubt it'll be October. Now, the reason I say November or December is because they definitely want it out Q4 of 2023. That's their goal. If they can't make that, they definitely want it out by February. Like, absolutely for certain, February of 2024. So, we don't have too much long to wait for the actual final version of the game. Now, I gotta be honest with you, I'm still a little bit worried about monetization. Like, if they do it like Warframe, where you can actually purchase the Descendants, the different playable characters with their ability and power sets and everything, if you can just purchase those separately and or purchase weapons similar to what you can do in Warframe, I think that would be fine. I'm not too freaked out about the pay for power thing, to be honest with you, because for one thing, this isn't meant to be PvP that I've seen. Everything I've seen is player versus enemy. So, and it's that really cool drop in, drop out thing that like Destiny has, where like you're in a big area and then all of a sudden there's other people that'll just join you and help you on a mission. I actually needed that at one point because I was playing as Bunny and she's a great speedster, but what I needed to do was protect an antenna device from enemies attacking it over the course of like 3 minutes. Now again, yeah, that style of like that mode or whatever, very similar, very rote, you know, if you're looking at this type of game, like a game as a service. But the moment-to-moment gameplay and the ability usages and things like that are so well done, you really don't care. It's hard to explain how much fun it is to play the First Descendant. Let's see here. But yeah, the monetization. One thing I was definitely worried about is, like, how much are the Descendants going to be? Are they going to be similar to Warframes, which are, like, I want to say between 20 and 30, which isn't terrible if you're just getting, like, 1 or 2, because, you know, it's a game as a service, and this one's free to play. This isn't like a $60 game, and then on top of that, it's a free to play game. One thing though, you fight these amazing kaiju type battles, these gigantic mechs that look like something almost out of Voltron or something, and you need a special type of key in order to fight these colossi, they're called. I do not know how much those keys are going to be. If you have to grind for them, I have no idea how they're going to go about that. But yes, it's a special type of item needed, similar to like a Greater Rift key in Diablo, to actually go on these battles that occur like in a virtual reality type of thing. But those battles are awesome. They're really good. I think next week I'll probably talk about changes I would make and stuff. Things that I think would be really cool in the final game, because we've already talked quite a bit about just like what the beta was and everything. And we still have more gaming news to go too. So, okay. So Diablo 4, everybody that hasn't forgotten about Diablo 4, like me, I have not forgotten. I've been playing a number of games, but that's how it is with a game as a service. Chances are you're not going to constantly play it. Anyway, Diablo 4 is almost 4 hours of presentations related to quality of life changes and Season 2, the Season of Blood. I had to make that dramatic. I want to make sure everyone's like paying attention, so I needed to make that dramatic. Information stream is going to be on Wednesday, October 4th. So next Wednesday, roughly almost 2 hours or so, we're going to get information about quality of life and Season 2, the Season of Blood. And then a week later, on October 10th, we're going to have a campfire chat, which is going to be a little bit more like, kind of like detail based, and I think Rod Ferguson's going to be there and everything. And it should be really cool. And the actual season, Season 2, Season of Blood, is scheduled for October 17th. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what they need 4 hours to tell us about. Because we already know there's going to be at least 5 repeatable bosses that we can farm to get stuff. We already know about the Season of Blood and vampiric powers. But apparently there's so much... and that the fact that gems are not going to take up inventory space. We know all of this. So whatever they're going to fill 4 hours with, don't be upset if it's 3.5. They're claiming it'll be around 4. I don't know for sure, but anywhere between 3.5, 4 hours of information over the next 2.5 weeks or so. Yeah, that should be interesting to see that. Okay, now this I'm extremely excited for, and this took me back. Okay, this took me, I was pushed back. I was like, whoa, I can't believe this is happening. Okay, merch for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is starting to show up, including shirts and a key art poster and a hoodie, and Amazon and Target have those items on their website. Target also has the trade of the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League comic book, but I think that's an error because they're claiming that the entire trade of all 6 issues comes out October 14th. So I think they just haven't adjusted that yet. Because, issue 1 is now supposed to come out, February 2nd or February 5th or something like that. It all got pushed back. All the merch, the comics, everything got pushed back. So I don't think that that's a correct date on that trade. Okay, and a leaked trailer has shown us Venom, and he is freaking huge. He is gigantic. At the least, I'd say he's 12 feet tall, maybe 18. It's hard to say. He's gigantic. He is huge. It is going to be a hell of a battle for Miles and Peter. It's going to be really intense, and yeah, very, very excited for it. I myself had my stream, twitch.tv/Hoardergamer. I recently started 2 games, actually. Spider-Man 2018. I'm going between that and Cyberpunk. I started as a new character, a nomad, because of Phantom Liberty is supposedly going to be amazing, or is amazing. It's out now. So I wanted to start over because there's also the free 2.0 update, which apparently changes a lot in the game, and so far has changed a number of things, including the skill trees and the shooting in vehicles. It even allows you to have guns on your cars. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. Everybody, though, that's the exhaustive talk on video games for the week. Now it is time for us to toy around. And first up, we have... Look at this beauty. Look at this. Okay? Green Goblin from the MCU. Look at that. No Way Home, Green Goblin. Look at the helmet, look at the outfit, look at the glider. Okay? Looks really good, right? Okay. Let me put this one away. Actually, I might be able to do both at the same time. Look at this. Look at the Willem Dafoe sculpt. He also comes with goggles, but I couldn't find just, you know, another picture with the goggles that didn't mean a third picture for me to show. So, but yeah, get a better look at that glider. The blades on his arm. The hood. They did an excellent job on this. There's a ton of plastic in this thing. It's a lot of stuff with this. It's going to be $49.99 and pre-orders go live tomorrow. So here we have Green Goblin, Gobby. I think it looks phenomenal. This is one of the best things that they showed at PulseCon. I was very impressed with this. I was like, okay. They even pulled off a Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe has a very unique sculptured face. It's hard to pull off in toys. Let alone a toy that doesn't break the bank. So, okay, let me remove this. And this. And we have one final toy, everybody. Alfred Molina in the palm of your hand. Look at that. They actually recreated the part where he's talking to the claws. Doc Ock. Dr. Otto Octavius from No Way Home. And I guess you could say Spider-Man 2. I think it's very, very much in keeping with how he looked in that. But I think that looks great too. Now, supposedly, this figure is actually $10 less at $39.99. I don't know if that's definite, though, because he comes with the arms, and that's a lot of plastic right there. So I don't know for sure, but he might be $39.99. And Gobby's going to be $49.99. Of course, he's got that glider, and he's got the goggles, he's got the hoodie, the extra head or the helmet. I don't know exactly how they're doing it with this toy, but yeah, I think these are both really great. And I think for the size, they did an excellent job on the sculpts. I think these are very awesome. Shout out again to Preternia and Hasbro Pulse on Twitter for some of the pictures being shown here. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, everybody. We are moving along like a freight train going to Happyville. Okay, so next up, we're going to look at the comic books that are coming out in the near future. And you're probably asking yourself, when in the near future? And I'm more than happy to tell you that time. That time is 1 week from today. Okay. So first up, look at this gorgeous freaking variant cover for Joker number 11. Look at this. Like a realistic take on the Joker. Although the idea of this issue is apparently two Jokers walk into a bar and only one ever leaves. So this right here may be the ersatz or fake Joker, because he doesn't have, like, you know, the Joker usually has like the scariness vibe, right? This guy looks more like someone who put makeup on, but it could be the Joker. It could be the take on the Joker. I think it looks really cool, though. I think this looks really cool. I very much like these almost painted looking covers. I think they look fantastic. That's Joker 11. Every now and then, without giving you a lot of detail in a book, I'm just going to show a cover and be like, that's awesome. That's awesome. And that's kind of what I did here. Matthew Rosenberg's take on the Joker is actually really good. But yeah, I really wanted to just kind of show off that cover because I liked it a lot. Next up, if you're a fan of comic books with insane titles like Something is Killing the Children, then I have The Devil That Wears My Face. Another comic book with a crazy ass title. Okay. David Papos. It's supposed to be a mix between The Exorcist and Face Off. So, sounds pretty wild. It's Mad Cave Comics. So, hopefully, your local comic shop, your LCS, will have it in stock. I guess it is possible that not every shop will carry Mad Cave. It's not as big as some of the other, publishing companies. So, The Devil That Wears My Face. The cover is great, and that title is just wild. Okay. I believe it's October 3rd or October 4th? What a great way to get into the Halloween mood than with a comic book called The Devil That Wears My Face. I also like how literal that is. If it's a mix between Exorcist and Face Off, that's incredibly literal. That's like craziness. And what is this, everybody? Nothing more than Transformers #1 from Image Comics. I didn't say that incorrectly. Image Comics. The future of Transformers all begins next week. There's a very good chance I will review this. Not a guarantee, but a very good chance. And I love this cover. Optimus, Starscream. Look at that. It looks like Optimus is possibly killing Starscream. I have no idea. It's a little bit out there for Optimus, but it kind of looks that way. Like I don't know how Optimus could like punch through killing Starscream, but that's kind of what it looks like. I'm not sure. Now, variant covers are not always 100% what happens in the issue. Sometimes it's meant to be like, oh, this is awesome, get this. Or it could also be a very small like point of the comic book, or like maybe like a dream sequence recreated for the cover. Hard to say, but it's a heck of a cover, and it's issue 1 for Image coming out next week. And every now and then, there's a comic book where I want to give you a synopsis where I have no choice but to actually just try to say what it says in the official synopsis. That's the case for Marvel Gods #1. Like, I read it twice, and I'm still like, what? Okay. Jonathan Hickman reinvents the cosmology of the Marvel Universe. What happens when the powers that be meet the natural order of things? The infinite détente between the natural order of things and the powers that be nears an end. Old acquaintances are reunited during a Babylon event. The Lion of Wolves throws the worst parties. Don't look under the table. There's a John Wilkes Booth penny on the ground. The enormous extra-sized first issue features Doctor Strange, who, while not boring at all, is easily the most boring person in this book. That is one hell of a synopsis. Like, I don't know how I could have even tried to get across what this book is about. I still don't know. Jonathan Hickman did the amazing House of X, Powers of X. He's doing Ultimate Invasion right now. He's doing he's kind of like, I think, running the Ultimates next year when they come out for Marvel again. Yeah, this sounds insane. Like, even for Jonathan Hickman, this sounds insane. I seem to remember solicits for the stuff he was doing with X-Men and even like the Avengers, and it making a lot more sense than this. I'm very tempted to review this. I'm worried though that it's gonna be like almost like a history lesson, almost like homework, because of how complicated it's going to be. I'm sure it'll be exciting and interesting. And no matter how good it is, this is still technically going to be a shitty book. See, art by Valerio Shitty. See. Written by Jonathan Hickman and art by Valerio Shitty. So. Okay, let me put this away. Well, everybody, we have like come to the last part of the episode. A comic book review. And that comic book review is Flash #1. Look at that. Look how fast he's moving. You can't even keep up. You can't keep up with him. Okay, so it's by Spurrier and Diodato. And wow, if you don't know a lot about Wally West and his kids and what happened to his kids and the dark multiverse and all that, this is incredibly confusing. So while it's a #1, it is still a very rough jump on point. So, I mean, I got to be honest there. I think the people that are loving this issue know the character really well, know the stuff that's been going on, and it makes much more sense to them. Okay? I know a lot about Barry Allen. I do not know much about Wally West. So, yeah. The easiest way to explain this book, though, is there's an indigo force. And it's basically like Gorilla Grodd and his gorilla army are basically trying to monitor this force and understand it while also taking captives at all these different sites. Now, in 2 moments in this book, this indigo-like force basically creates a speedster, and in one case, Wally actually catches them and actually, saves them. And then the other one, the Speed Force possibly remakes them into a monster. Doctor Who, how you doing? And then Wally is having an issue with the Speed Force. He's having like hallucinations. He's having moments where his powers aren't quite working the way they should. At one point, he questions how Gorilla Grodd is moving so fast and he can't. And then there's something called the Uncoiling. It sounds like the big bad that's going to be in this book is something called the Uncoiled, and that the Uncoiled are coming. So, yeah, it's very good. But it is somewhat confusing, especially if you don't understand what is going on with Wally's kids. There's a wild scene where Animal Girl goes and makes a gerbil do the Harlem Shuffle so Iris can leave class and check on her brother. And that even has more questions because it's like the brother leaves the room and there's a miniature version of the brother still in the room where he was. There's this there's so much You're playing Turner Classic Movies? I would love that game. I know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I know. When did Wally have kids? Well, it's great that you asked that, Doctor Who. Apparently, because of some insanity with the dark multiverse, 10 years of their life is gone, including their births. I don't know. I don't know. So one issue I have when I do a show like this is, obviously I do it on Wednesdays, usually at 8 p.m. Central. This time was 5 p.m. Just, for instance. And less time after reading the book to do research on the book. So obviously the hope when I do this is that when I review a book or read a book, the review isn't too difficult, that I don't have to do a lot of research. That wasn't the case here. And the more I read, the more confusing it got. But that's the easiest way I can sum that up. I will say that as a jumping on point, both Wonder Woman #1 and Blue Beetle #1 were easier to follow. But, again, this is still very cool. And it's just that I'm confused by it. And like I said, I feel like I have to take a Wally West class or something like that. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. But yeah, it's very cool. The artwork's great. Deodato does a great job. And I don't quite know exactly what happens to the Speedster, but it's like they're remade into a horrifying monster that maybe is the Uncoiled. Maybe the Uncoiled are people that are like basically uncoiled from time and reality, and they're like monsters. I have no idea. I'm just trying to guess. I will pick up issue 2 because of how insanely confused I am by issue 1. I'm sure that they'll try like making more sense of things. So, but yeah, it was still good. It wasn't bad. It's just like it's your mileage might vary based on how well you know Wally West and the more recent events of the Dark Multiverse. Everybody, I want to thank you very much for watching. Thank you. Thank you to Doom Squad Gaming and Doomkiller HD for letting me borrow the channel. Thank you. Let's see. You can catch me at twitch.tv/Hoardergamer. As I mentioned earlier, I'm doing a lot of 2018 Spider-Man right now, and I'm going between that and Cyberpunk. Oh, but wait, there's more. If you're lucky, it might be Wayfinder, might be Diablo 4. You just don't know. You don't know. Spontaneity. The one thing in life I have in spontaneity, the games I stream. That's about it. That's about it. Otherwise, I'm really not spontaneous. But thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great week. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. This was Hoarder's Comic Flex. See you later.